Yeah.
Oh, that sounds a lot. Wow.
Mm-hmm. We'll get started sitting down. We'll wait a moment, make sure everyone's settled. If you want a blanket to sit up on or use for your knees, there are a couple more over here. Chris, is this the playlist?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Want me to restart it?
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just give it a couple minutes, let everyone settle in.
Ready? Excellent. Kick your shoes off, make yourself comfortable, man. You need a mat?
Yes, please.
Actually, use it. Okay. Use it.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll just go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining me here today. My name is Abigail Dean. I'm a yoga teacher, and today I'm going to be guiding you through a vinyasa flow. So we'll start just by checking in with our bodies here, and then we're going to start moving through a bit of a sequence. I'll teach it to you slowly, and then we'll start to marry our breath with our movement, moving through it a little bit more quickly before we bring things down to the ground to cool down. And we will end in our final resting pose of Shavasana. And before we get started, I always like to remind you that while I am up here guiding the practice, you are your own guru. So if there's anything that doesn't feel good in your body, listen to that, honor that. If you need to come down for a rest, you can always come down to a seated position or to child's pose. Or if you need to push yourself a little bit harder than we're going today, feel free to do that as well. So I invite you to bring your eyes to a close. We're going to start here just by checking in. Sometimes we spend our whole day rushing from thing to thing, place to place, never fully arriving. But for this next hour, all you have to do is be here on your mat with yourself and your body. There's nothing else that needs your attention. Bring your awareness to your breath without changing it. Notice how you're breathing in this moment. Maybe it's quickly, maybe it's slowly. Feel your abdomen expand and contract. Feel your sternum rise and fall. Feel the air travel through your nostrils. Feel the air on the back of your throat. Maybe this is the first time you've put your awareness on your breath today. What does it feel like? Yoga is the practice of self-study, showing up, observing yourself, not forcing yourself into anything, noticing what's going on and where you're at today. So we're going to start taking a body scan, keeping your eyes closed, bringing your awareness to the crown of your head. Can you let go of any tension you're holding in your skull? Maybe drop any tension you're holding between your eyebrows or in your jaw. Bring your awareness down through your neck to your shoulders. Maybe as you inhale, you sit up tall, straighten your spine as if there's a string pulling you from the crown of your head. Roll the shoulders back, let the shoulder blades fall. Bring your awareness to your abdomen, to your hips. Feel where your body is meeting the mat. Draw your awareness through your legs, down, all the way out to your feet and to your toes. We'll take one more moment here, checking in with the emotional body, with the mind, noticing any thoughts that are present. Maybe your mind is calm, or maybe it's racing. Can you just notice what's going on without trying to stop it or change it? Sometimes there's this misconception that to do yoga, you need to have a calm mind. but really yoga is just about observing what's going on. So at any point in the practice, if you find that your mind is caught up in your stream of thoughts, in yoga we call that chitta vritti, mind chatter, just bring your awareness gently back to your breath. We'll bring our hands together at heart center. Take a moment to set an intention for your flow today. Maybe you already have something in mind. Honor that. And if not, I invite you to move through this flow today with a gentle curiosity. Curious about how your body is moving today without judging yourself or feeling like you should be a certain way in a certain posture. Just move and feel. We'll bring our hands back down to our knees. You can keep the eyes closed or you can flutter them open to a soft gaze. We're going to start to take circles with our neck, drawing big circles in the air with our nose. Moving as slowly or as quickly as you would like. Continuing to keep your awareness on your breath. Noticing how this feels. If there are any areas where you feel tightness or you notice maybe a crunching or a crackling sound, you can rock back and forth there. We'll reverse the direction of our circles. We'll bring the head to stillness. Maybe flutter the eyes open to a soft gaze. And on an inhale, we're going to sweep the arms overhead. Palms are facing each other. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. Inhale here, sit up tall. Exhale, bend the elbows. Palms shine towards me. Heart shines forward, cactus. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, cactus. We're going to move here for a few breaths, moving at the pace of your own breath, letting your breath guide you. Next time you're in cactus, we're going to stay here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathe into the front of your chest. Feel your heart center open. This world needs your heart, and this world needs your heart open. But sometimes when we are shining all of our light into this world, we also have to come within, draw all of our resources into our own bark and revitalize. We're going to bring the palms together around the spine, bow the head. And when you feel revitalized, on an inhale, we're going to open up to cactus. Exhale, close. Move here with your own breath. Starting to wake up the spine, move out any stagnant energy in the spine. A few more breaths here. Honoring the cycles and the seasons of your life and your energy. You don't have to be on all the time. It's okay to take a break. Next time you open to cactus, we're gently going to bring the hands down in front of us, rolling forward into tabletop position. If this is too much on your knees, you can have the blanket under your knees. Making sure that the wrists are directly under the shoulders, knees are directly under the hips. We're going to move through a few rounds of cat-cow here with a variation. So as you inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, start to round the spine, push the mat away from you, send the hips over your heels for a child's pose. Inhale, moving forward, letting your spine move like a wave. Exhale, round the spine, send the hips over the heels. Moving here for a few breaths. Two more breaths here, and then we're going to stay in child's pose. Sending the hips back over the heels, arms are extended out in front of you, forehead comes all the way down to the mat. Taking just a couple of breaths here before we really start to build up some heat in the body. Bring your awareness back to your breath. When you're ready, we're going to slowly rock forward back through tabletop. On an inhale, extend the right leg straight behind you, level with the hip. You can stay here, or you can walk your left fingertips forward, extending your left arm out in front of you. Exhale, squeeze your elbow to your knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Starting to wake up the core. Welcoming some heat into the body. On your next extension, you can stay there, or you can bend the right knee behind you, reaching back with the left palm, kicking your right foot into your left hand. Keep your gaze down on your mat to keep length in the back of your neck. 2 breaths here. If you fall, if you shake, it's okay. It's just a practice. Can you take yourself less seriously? Inhale to extend with control. Gently set the left palm down on the mat. Then the right knee. We'll do this on the other side. Inhale to extend the left leg straight behind you, level with the hip. You can stay here or slowly walk the right fingertips forward, pinky to the ground, thumb to the sky. Exhale, squeeze your elbow to your knee. Inhale as you extend. Maybe lift the corners of your mouth. Moving at the pace of your own breath. Maybe you noticed that one side was easier than the other. Maybe they both feel the same. A few more breaths here. On your next extension, you can stay here, or you can bend the left knee behind you, reaching back with the right palm, kicking your foot into your hand. Again, gaze stays down on the mat, keeping length in the neck. 2 breaths. On your next inhale, extend with control. Gently set the right palm down on the mat, then the left knee. We're going to slowly make our way into downward facing dog. First, we're going to tuck the toes, hover the knees. Again, engaging the core, bringing some heat. And when you're ready, we're going to peel the hips up to the sky for our first downward facing dog. Maybe you keep a generous bend in the knees. Maybe you find some gentle movements, pedaling out one foot, then the other, bending one knee, then the other. Remembering to push through all corners of the hands, clawing through all fingertips, taking the weight out of just the wrists. Take 2 more breaths here, noticing what this first downward facing dog feels like. On an inhale, extend your right leg to the sky, keep the hips squared, toes are pointing down to the ground. As you exhale, we're going to step it through our palms to runner's lunge. Keep the left palm planted. Right arm peels open to the sky. Try to keep your right knee above your right ankle. Exhale, right palm down to the earth. On an inhale, we're going to move from our core, sweeping our arms up overhead, high crescent. Left heel is up off the mat. Palms are facing each other. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the core engaged. Draw your navel to your spine. Can you get comfortable being uncomfortable? On your next exhale, we're going to open Warrior One. Left heel comes down to the mat, arms out to the side. Right knee stays over right ankle. Look over your right fingertips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep your right knee over your right ankle to the best of your ability. Strong warriors. Beautiful warriors. On an inhale, you're going to reach your right fingertips towards me. Flip your palm, paint a rainbow in the sky, reverse your warrior. Left palm comes to left thigh or behind your back. We want to find a lot of reach in the right side body without collapsing into the left ribs. So it's more of a reach than a side bend. One more breath here. As you exhale, we're going to bring our right forearm to our right thigh. Left arm sweeps up overhead, palm facing the ground. So there's a long line of energy all the way through your left side body. Keep the core engaged so that we're pushing our weight between both feet evenly. On your next inhale, we're going to stand up to reverse triangle. So we straighten the right leg, right arm sweeps up overhead, both legs are straight. Again, finding extension in the right side body. Breathe here. Bring your left palm to your left hip. Right arm reaches forward like you're going to shake someone's hand, but it gave you bad vibes. And you're allowed to change your mind. So bring your hand back to yourself inside of your right shin. Left arm peels open to the sky. 2 breaths here. Left palm windmills down to meet the right. Then we plant both palms on the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left. You can flow through a Chaturanga, or you can bring your knees down, then your chest into baby Cobra or up dog. Then we'll tuck the toes, send the hips high, downward facing dog again. Take a couple breaths here. Are there any subtle differences you can tune into after doing that on one side? On an inhale, extend your left leg to the sky. When you're ready, exhale, step it through, runner's lunge. Right palm stays planted, left arm peels up to the sky. Exhale, left palm back down to the mat. Moving from the core, we're going to sweep our arms up, high crescent. Right heel is up off the mat, core is engaged, draw your navel to your spine, knit in the lower ribs. You've got this. Can you notice where your mind starts to wander when you feel challenged? On your next exhale, we're going to open to Warrior Two. Arms come out to the side, right heel comes down to the mat. Keep your left knee over your left ankle. On an inhale, reach your left fingertips towards me. Flip your left palm, paint a rainbow, reverse your warrior. Right palm comes to right thigh or behind your back. Again, finding expansion in the left side body, but not collapsing into the right. On your next exhale, we're going to find extended side angle. Left forearm comes to left thigh. Right arm sweeps up overhead. Keep your core engaged so you're pushing your weight through both of your legs, not just collapsing all of our weight into the left. 2 breaths here. You've got this. On an inhale, we're going to stand up into reverse triangle. Straighten your left leg. Left arm sweeps overhead, reaching up. Right arm is on your right thigh or behind your back. Right palm comes to right hip. Left arm reaches forward like you're going to shake someone's hand, but they gave you bad vibes. And you can change your mind. Bring it down inside your left shin. Right arm peels open to the sky. Two breaths. Windmill. Palm down to meet your left. Plant both palms on the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Again, flow through Chaturanga. Bring your knees down, then your chest. Baby Cobra or up dog. Tuck the toes, send the hips over the heels for child's pose. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Checking in with the body. How does it feel after some movement, some heat? Can you think of one thing about yourself that you're grateful for? Start to roll forward through tabletop. Tuck the toes, send the hips high. We're going to move through this a couple more times on both sides, marrying our breath with our movement. So if I'm going too fast or too slow for you, listen to your own pace. If you need to come down for a break, come down to child's pose. That's beautiful. I love to see people taking care of themselves. Inhale, extend your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, peel your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, back down to the earth. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten the front leg, right arm sweeps up overhead. Exhale, left palm on your hip, reach forward, revolve triangle, left arm opens to the sky. Left palm comes down to meet right. Plant both palms on the mat. Step your feet back, flow through the Chaturanga or your own way. Beautiful. Tuck the toes, send the hips high, downward facing dog. You're doing great. On an inhale, we're going to extend the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through to runner's lunge. Right palm stays planted. Inhale, open left arm to the sky. Exhale, left palm down to the mat. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Right heel comes down to the mat, arms out to the side. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh, right arm sweeps up overhead. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Straighten the front leg, left arm sweeps up overhead. Exhale, right palm, right hip, reach forward, down inside of your left shin. Peel the right arm open. Stay here for the inhale. Exhale, right palm down. Plant both palms on the mat. Step your left foot back to meet your right. We'll take 3 breaths in child's pose before we move through it again. Notice how you're feeling. Bring your awareness back to your breath. flow through this one more time on each side before we do some balancing poses, and then we'll bring it down to the ground to cool things off. When you're ready, start to roll forward through tabletop. Tuck your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, peel your right arm open. Exhale, right palm down. Inhale, high crescent. You're doing great. Exhale, open to warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten your right leg. Right arm sweeps up overhead. Exhale, left palm to left hip. Reach your right arm forward, down inside of your right shin. Left arm peels open to the sky. Exhale, left palm down to meet the right. Plant both palms. Right foot steps back to meet left. Flow through Chaturanga. Remember, when you're flowing through Chaturanga, keep your elbows tucked into your sides. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Last time on the left side, you're doing great. Tell yourself you're doing great. Inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Open your left arm to the sky. Exhale, left palm down to the mat. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm to left thigh, right arm sweeps up overhead. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your left leg, left arm sweeps up overhead. Right palm to right hip. Exhale, reach forward, down inside of your left shin, peel your right arm open. Exhale, right palm comes down to meet left, plant both palms on the mat. Left foot steps back to meet right. Chaturanga. Child's pose. Maybe this time you take a different version of child's pose. Maybe you keep your toes together, knees as wide as the mat. Or maybe you bend your elbows, bring your palms together for prayer pose behind your head. Any variation that's calling out to you. Check in with your body. Notice how you're feeling. Can you think of another thing you're grateful for about yourself? Two more breaths here. On an inhale, roll forward through tabletop. We're going to tuck the toes, send the hips high, downward facing dog again. We're going to slowly walk the feet to meet the hands for a forward fold. Let the spine hang, let the head hang heavy. Maybe you grab opposite elbows, rock side to side. Maybe you have a generous bend in your knees. This is more about letting the spine release. On an inhale, we're going to find halfway lift. So bring your palms to your shins or your thighs. You want to have a flat back here, so roll your shoulder blades back. Neck is in line with the spine. As you exhale, release forward. And as you inhale, we're going to slowly roll all the way up to standing, stacking one vertebra at a time. The head is the last thing that stacks. We're going to take a moment here in mountain pose. You can keep your eyes open or you can close them. Maybe roll your shoulders back. Engage your core, knit your lower ribs in. Slightly tuck your pelvis, slightly tuck your chin. Take a moment, push through all four corners of your feet. Notice how it feels just to stand. Flutter your eyes open to a soft gaze. We're gonna do some balancing poses here. On an inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Lift the right knee so it's level with the right hip. We're gonna cross the right ankle over the left knee. Hands through heart center. Push through all four corners of the left foot. Make sure you can still wiggle your toes. Start to sit back in figure four. It helps if you find a drishti or something that's not moving you can focus your vision on. Anchor your balance to. Keep your core engaged. As you exhale, maybe you sit a little bit deeper. You're doing great. On an inhale, start to push back into your left leg, standing up. Back through stork's pose with your right knee level with your right hip, arms overhead. This time we're gonna find tree pose. So here we have a few variations. You can bring your right foot to your left ankle or your shin or your thigh. Just don't push any weight onto your knee. We wanna keep the hips squared here, or level here. And then you can grow some branches, or you can hold prayer pose at your heart, or you can hold a lotus. Or sometimes I like to crown the tree. Breathe here, find your drishti, you've got this. Send some roots down into the earth. Remember how connected you are at all moments. Two more breaths here. On an inhale, we're gonna move back through stork's pose. And here, keep your right knee level with your right hip. We're gonna bring our hands through heart center. We're gonna start to kick our right foot back for flying warrior. If this is too much for you, you can always play with having your right foot down on the earth, just lifting it up and down. Or you can try to keep your chest and leg parallel with the floor. Maybe you send your arms out to the sides, flying warrior. Keeping our right leg as strong as our left leg, so toes are flexed. Two more breaths here. Got it. Then we're gonna step our right foot to the back of our mat gently. Lift the arms up overhead. We're gonna bring our right heel down to the mat. Sweep our arms behind us. Interlace the fingertips, push the knuckles towards the earth. Open the chest, gaze comes slightly up. Again, opening the heart center. This world needs your heart. You can stay here, or you can start to hinge at the hips, bringing the left shoulder to the left knee. Maybe knuckles fall forward towards your head. Finding your edge, but not pushing yourself past it, listening to your body here. Two more breaths. Where does your mind go when you're challenged? Can you bring your awareness back to your breath? On an inhale, move from your core, stand back up. We're gonna lift the arms, lift the right heel up off the earth. We're gonna open up to the side. Sorry, I'm like backwards from you. Open up to the side for star pose. Arms out to the side. Point your toes towards this wall. So they're parallel with the short edge of your mat. Feel yourself take up space. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to take up all the space you need in this world. Bring our hands on our hips. Start to hinge at the hips, folding forward. You can let your arms come down to the mat. Maybe you grab opposite elbows, rocking side to side. Or maybe you reach for your left ankle and then your right. Two more breaths here. Bring the hands down to the mat. We're going to start to bend into our right knee, keeping our left leg extended. Finding Shavasana. You can have your hands down on the mat or at heart center. Left toes flex towards your face. Beautiful. It's okay. You're doing great. Bring the hands down to the mat. One at a time. We're going to slowly crawl to frame our left foot at the front of our mat. Left lunge. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Flow through Chaturanga or your own to baby Cobra or up dog. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Are there any subtle differences you can tune into after doing that on one side? Slowly start to walk your feet to meet your hands for a forward fold. Let the spine hang, let the head hang heavy. And then inhale, lift to halfway, lift, flat back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slow to standing, stacking one vertebra at a time. The head is the last thing that stacks. Again, we're going to take a moment here just to tune in, check in, see how it feels in mountain pose. Maybe bring awareness to your right leg and your left leg. Can you notice any differences, any subtle differences? Maybe you don't notice anything, or maybe they feel imbalanced because you've done more work on the other. Slowly flutter the eyes open. On an inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, lift the left knee level with the left hip. We'll find figure 4 on this side, hands through heart center, left ankle crosses over right knee. Push through all 4 corners of the right foot, but make sure you can still wiggle your right toes. Start to sit back. Again, finding your drishti, keeping the core engaged. Maybe you sit back a little bit deeper on each exhale. If you fall out of it, if you shake, it's okay, it's just a practice. 2 more breaths here, you're doing great. On an inhale, start to push through your right leg, standing back up, sweeping the arms up overhead. We'll find tree pose on this side. Try to do the same variation you did on the other side, but if you can't, that's okay. Again, just not pushing any weight on your knee. Again, you can grow your branches. Keep the core engaged, draw your navel to your spine, knit in the lower ribs. Take a moment here, grounding down. Two more breaths here. Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay. On an inhale, we're going to come back through stork's pose. Left knee's level with the left hip. Hands through heart center. We're going to start to kick our left foot back behind us, finding flying warrior, warrior 3. Again, if this feels like too much, feel free to bring your left toes down to the ground. Just practice lifting that left foot. Maybe you notice that this pose is easier on one side or the other. One leg might feel stronger than the other. Just check in with your body without judging yourself. When you're ready with control, we're gently going to step our left foot to the back of our mat. Finding high crescent, left arm sweep, or arm sweep up overhead. Left heel comes down to the mat. Keeping a bend in the right knee. Arms come behind our back. Interlace your fingers, one finger over, so it's going to feel a little weird, but tell your brain it's okay to think in a new way. Push your knuckles towards the earth. Gaze comes slightly up. Let your chest open. Breathe here. You can stay here, or you can start to hinge at the hips, bring the right shoulder to the right knee. Just a couple of breaths here. Staying present, keeping your awareness on your breath and your internal experience. Moving from the core, standing back up. Gently releasing the fingers, lift the left heel up off the mat. Now we're gonna turn towards Chris, the desk, opening up to star, feeling yourself take up space. You deserve to take up space. This world needs you taking up space. Point your toes towards this wall. I don't know what direction this is, but this over here. Feel your energy radiate out all the way past your fingertips, past your toes. Bring your hands to your hips. We'll start to hinge at the hips, folding forward. You can bring your hands down to the mat. Again, letting the spine hang, letting the head hang heavy. Be here for 2 more breaths. Wherever you are, bringing the fingertips down to the mat. We're going to start to bend into the left knee, keeping the right leg extended. Shavasana on this side. Hands can stay on the mat. Heart center, the toes flex towards your face. Breathing here. Noticing if this side feels different from the other side. Palms come down to the mat. Slowly, one palm at a time, we're going to crawl towards the front. Frame your right foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Chaturanga, you know where we're going. And we'll send it back to child's pose for a few breaths. We'll be here for 5 breaths. If there are any poses that are calling your name, feel free to take them. Taking a moment here, honoring the life force that flows through you, that flows through all of us. We're going to start to make our way through tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to make our way to a seat. I think the easiest way to do this is to send the knees or the legs out to one side. Coming back, sitting on my sits bones. Then we're going to want to be on the front of our mat because we're going to roll all the way back. With the soles of the feet planted on the earth, or you can lift your feet if you want more of a challenge. You can have your hands on the backs of your thighs, or you can have them facing the ceiling. Either way, we're going to roll all the way down onto our backs, extending the legs out. Slowly rolling, feeling every point where your back is meeting the mat. We're going to plant the feet on the mat just behind our hips. Palms are face down on the mat just outside of our hips. Perfect. On an inhale, we're going to extend the hips to the sky. Bridge pose. Exhale, slowly draw the hips back down to the earth. Feeling your back meet the mat. one vertebra at a time. We're going to move through a variation of a bridge pose flow. So as you inhale, lift your hips to the sky. We're also going to lift our arms up over our head. Perfect. All the way down onto the mat over your head, or the ground over your head. As we exhale, we're only going to drop our hips to the earth. Now as you inhale, we're going to lift our hips, and we're going to bring our hands back down to the mat outside of our hips. Now as you exhale, drop only your hips. We'll move through this for a few breaths. You should feel that this stretches your back in a little bit of a different way, whether your arms are up or down. So inhale, lift your hips and your arms. Stretch your arms all the way over your head. Exhale, drop only your hips. Inhale, lift your hips. Bring your hands down to the mat outside of your hips. Exhale, drop just your hips. 3 more times. Inhale, hips and hands. Exhale, just your hips. Inhale, lift your hips. Drop your hands down to the mat. Exhale, just your hips. 2 more times. Do this at your own pace. Next time you come to neutral, stay there with your hips on the ground, your palms planted on the mat outside of your hips. This time we're going to inhale, lift only our hips. Extend your right leg into the air, straight above you. Cross it over your left knee, slowly drop your hips. You can stay here, or you can push your right knee away from you. Or you can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Maybe you rock side to side here. Keep your head down on the earth. Starting to cool things down. If your mind starts to wander as we're coming to stillness, bring your awareness back to your breath. Sometimes the challenge is when we're coming to stillness. Come to stillness. Release your fingers. Gently set your left foot on the earth. Keep the legs as they are, and we're going to let the legs fall over to the right all the way onto the ground. Maybe arms come out to a T. Look over your left shoulder. Try to keep both shoulders on the mat. And here I just want you to feel the pose. Don't worry about what it's supposed to look like. Relax into it. Feel yourself melt into the mat with each exhale. Inhale, move your legs through center. Uncross your right foot, set it down onto the earth. Hands come down by your hips. Inhale, lift your hips. Inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. Cross your left ankle over your right knee and slowly drop the hips back down. Again, you can stay here, or you can push your left knee away from you, or you can interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Rocking back and forth. We'll come to stillness. Release the fingers, gently set the right foot back down onto the earth. Keep the legs as they are, and we're going to drop them over to the left side, all the way onto the ground. Arms come out to a T. Try to keep both shoulders on the mat. Look over the right shoulder. And again, just feel yourself melt into the mat with each exhale. Feeling the stretch. Not worrying about what it looks like or what you think it should look like. We'll bring the legs back through center, uncrossing the left, placing it on the earth. Hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe rock side to side, showing your lower back some love. Maybe you bring your palms onto your knees and draw some circles with your knees, massaging out your lower back. Grounding down, getting ready for a final resting pose of Shavasana, staying present with your breath, present with your body. We'll come to stillness. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Thank yourself for showing up today. The hardest step is always the first step onto the yoga mat, but you did it perfectly. You showed up. When you're ready, send your legs out long, or if there are any final poses that are calling to you, now is the perfect time to take them before we find our final resting pose, Shavasana. You can have your hands down by your hips, or we're going to lay all the way down. You can have your hands down by your hips, or you can have a hand on your heart, a hand on your stomach. Bring your eyes to a close. For the next few moments, we're going to let all of the good energy you've cultivated here today sink in and integrate with your mind, soul, and body. For the next few moments, you have nowhere to be. You have nothing to do. You're safe. You're being watched over. And I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Start to deepen your breath. Feel your belly rise and fall. Keep your eyes closed. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe reach your arms up over your head, point your toes, full body stretch, waking the body back up. When you're ready, roll onto either side, coming into the fetal position with an elbow under your head, knees are bent, resting on your side. And in your own time, keeping your eyes closed, moving slowly, make your way to a cross-legged seat, Sukhasana, where we'll meet. With your eyes closed, draw your hands to heart center. Take a moment, thank yourself for showing up today. Every time you show up on your mat, you make the world a better place because change always starts within. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. And to seal our time here together, we're going to take a collective breath. So to prepare, exhale all of the air from your lungs. Inhale, low lungs, mid lungs, top of your lungs. Suspend your breath. Take one last final sip of air. May your thoughts be pure. May your words be kind. May your heart be true. May your intuition be impeccable. May you always be of service to this world. And may you always receive what is of the highest good. The light inhuman in me honors the light inhuman in you. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask or find me afterwards.
I'm going to donate to the class.
I was actually going to say hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. This is Lucas from the owner. This is our second community class. Hopefully the second of 52 for the year. So there's going to be a new class every week with a new instructor. Next week we have Adam. He's a personal trainer. He does a stretch and mobility and strength class. So that would be with foam rollers. That's limited at 12 people. The week after that, we're doing another yoga class with Jen. The week after that is Zumba with Jen. The week after that is Pilates with Bianca. So, and then we're going to be inviting other trainers and instructors from the area to come in and host their classes here. They're all going to be free. We would appreciate donations to help us keep the lights on so we can market more of these classes. And we have the Venmo codes here if you guys want to donate. Also, I'd like to offer you guys a chance to do a half off of our float therapy tank for coming out tonight. Usually it's $120 for the hour, but we're doing half off, so you can do a $60 float. If you guys want to check it out before you go, it's right through this door. I can chat with you a little bit about it. Float therapy is so it's a great post-workout recovery. It's great for meditation, great for sleep problems. So just want to talk with you guys about that. And again, thank you guys for coming. If you know any group instructors that are looking to grow their audience and want to do some cross promotions, then get in touch with me. And then half off float, just you can either talk with me directly afterwards, or if you Instagram us or Facebook us and just say you came to our community class, and we'll hook you up with that special. So thank you guys very much. Namaste. Y'all have your best day ever.
Do you have down the mats or?
Hi, bestie. I didn't want to come today, but this is first class. I want to come support you. I knew it might be important to you, so.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Just a one-off. You want to clean your mat?
Clean your mat instead.
Well, this is my personal mat, so you don't have to.
So it's always good.
Clean your mat.
Okay.